Hey you, welcome to Who's Number One, where we talk about the top 10 teams in the country.
And we're talking Player of the Year. USA just put out their top 25 list. To be quite honest, I'm not sure that there are 25 players who belong on that list. So we're rounding out our list of top 10 today. Ches, kick us off with McClenny.
Hello, Haley McClenny, one of the best players in Alabama history. A 3-time All-American who will probably be a 4-time All-American by the time she graduates, batting .459 with a stellar on-base percentage of .602. Unbelievable. She's broken Caleb Rowe's record for on-base percentage, and I'd say that's a pretty darn important thing if you're a leadoff batter.
No doubt she belongs in our conversation. Second player we're talking about today, Florida's Delaney Corley. She's on the team with Alicia Ocasio. They're two of the best. They are the two best pitchers in the league right now. She's got a .78 ERA. She's third in the country. She's got 122 strikeouts. She does have 2 of Florida's 3 losses, but she's pitcher of the year if she's not a teammate with Alicia Ocasio. So, I mean, if there's a staff of the year award, Florida gets it, no doubt.
Oh yeah, 100%.
No
now
doubt.
We're going to talk about another pitcher on the Player of the Year watch list. Talk about Kaylee Carlson.
Yeah, she didn't make USA's list, which, again, USA's list, I questioned some of those people on that list. Kaylee Carlson, one of 5 pitchers for Auburn. They have a great staff as well. Not as good as Florida's, but very good. She's got a .91 ERA, pretty solid ERA. She's 11-0, 0 losses. And she's only pitched 69 innings, but she deserves to be in that conversation.
Yeah.
USA likes to pick pitchers. They've picked 12 of 14. Pitchers have been Player of the Year, so we wanted to put another pitcher in there, and she was our go-to.
5 in ERA, not bad.
Yeah, not bad at all. Now we're talking the biggest snub of USA's list. Ches, talk about Tina Yosefa.
Tina Yosefa from Georgia leads the country in RBIs. She has 63 RBIs. Unbelievable. Not only that,
Just think about that, 63.
she's 3rd in the country in home runs with 16 home runs and is batting nearly 400. How could you leave her off this list? Unbelievable. RBIs are essential to winning games. You need runs to score, and Yosefa is doing that game after game. I don't know how you leave her off the list.
It's bananas, that's what it is.
Now moving on to rankings. Sarah, kick us off.
Florida took care of business against Ole Miss. We all knew they were going to. They're the number 1 team in the country. They have always been the number 1 team in the country. They should have never dropped below number 1. Go Gators.
Beta Gates. Now moving on to Auburn, they're on a 13-game winning streak. They seem to be cruising along here, so I don't really see a whole lot of snags on their way to the SEC tournament.
They're going to be good. Michigan stays at number 3 for us. What do you make of their losses to Northwestern and Nebraska, though?
We all know this. They should not be dropping those games against a Northwestern or a Nebraska. Hopefully these are learning points for them throughout the season. But, when you look at some of these, the top 2 teams, they've lost some really competitive teams. They haven't dropped those easy ones. So it makes me question how far are they going to go in the series. Now, moving on to Alabama. They're cruising along here. They've been rolling tide ever since that.
Roll Tide, they look good.
Yeah, sweeping Mississippi State. Now, let's talk about the Raging Cajuns.
I have been waiting for this for months. We talk about strength of schedule with Louisiana Lafayette. I personally really like the team. I think they're a really strong team, and they don't get the props they deserve. They got Florida this weekend. They got a 3-game series with them. We're going to see what they're made of. What do you think they're going to do?
You know what? I'm hoping that they can at least snag one. This is a real true test to the Cajuns' pitching staff because they're going up against some really dangerous Florida hitters. Now, that being said, the best pitching staff in the country is going to have to go up to one of our Player of the Year watch lists, Lexi Elkins, who is 2nd in the country in home runs right now. And she's leading the country in batting average and on-base percentage. It's unbelievable. Lexi Elkins, you better be watching.
Yeah, I think they have to win at least one to stay in the top 5 conversation.
Sarah, talk about.
We're not talking about LSU, because
I guess they're out of the conversation. Rightfully so. They got swept by Kentucky.
they didn't score a run in 3 games against Kentucky. They scored 30 runs this season in a game.
Maybe they used them up.
I guess they did.
You know?
There's
Can
no
you run
reason,
out of runs?
There is no reason for this team not to be a top 10, and they're going to drop out of our top 10. because they're not playing. They have 5 All-Americans from last year. What's going on in Baton Rouge?
I guess that doesn't mean squat, like all Americans, small Americans.
Yes, I don't like. We don't know what's going on with LSU. And
Yeah, you're gonna have to figure that out. Hopefully, we're gonna do some soul searching and figure out how to get some W's. But everybody else in the top 10 is gonna move up. Okay. Oregon, with the sweep against Oregon State, have won the last 12 outings against the in-state rival.
Yeah, Washington's cruising along. They look good. JMU, the same thing. They're cruising. They're all just moving up the spot.
Yeah, talk a little bit about Florida State. What's going on there?
You know what? They haven't had a tough schedule. And they have Florida and they have Auburn coming up. I personally don't see them doing very well against those teams, but that's going to be their test. We're going to find out what they're made of. Do they belong in the conversation of top 10? Show us what you're made of against Florida and Auburn.
Now moving back into the top 10 is Georgia, who took care of business against the Mizzou Tigers, sweeping them all 3 games out.
Georgia looks good. I like them.
Yeah. Now, what to watch for this week? We dropped the Romero trailer, and now next week we premiere our episode 1 of Bragging Rights, the Romeros. So keep an eye out for that.
Make sure you're watching it. And we got our You Pick 'em matchups this week. You can pick the biggest matchups of the weekend. Tell us who's going to win and if they're going to sweep.
Yep. Get out of here.